Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens, failed in the AFC Championship game last year, looking to come back this year in the playoffs, hungry and wanting that first Super Bowl ring in the Lamar Jackson era. However, the Buffalo Bills in Highmark Stadium ruined that chance, beating the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC divisional round 27-25. In this video, I'll be talking about how the Ravens failed to execute their game plan and just overall thoughts on the Bills-Ravens playoff game. If you are new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Also, like this video and comment down below your thoughts on this Ravens season. Now, let's get into this video. Now, before we get into the bad and the negative of this game, I do want to shout out the positive before we get into any of that. First off, I want to shout out Zach Orr. And yes, the defense did give up 27 points. But the predicaments that we were put in last night and the defense as a whole, it was not bad. And what Zach Orr called last night was solid. And a lot of people were calling for his job just 9 weeks ago. So I want to shout out Zach Orr because that defense played its heart out in the second half. It gave the Ravens a chance to come back into the game and win the game. So I want to shout out Zach Orr in his first year for an incredible game called and giving the Ravens a shot when the offense had a bad first half. Now, I also want to shout out Ardarius Washington and Kyle Hamilton. Those two last night kept Josh Allen from passing deep and limited a lot of big plays from Josh's legs and his arm. So shout out to those two. I know Ardarius is an RFA. I do think we throw that tag on him, and I do think he comes back next year to be a Raven, and I hope they do that. So shout out to those two at the safety position. Also, shout out to Tavius Robinson. He was getting in there last night when not really many of the Ravens D linemen were. He was the standout D lineman in the game last night. And I want to shout him out for making plays against the run and Josh Allen. Now, on the offensive side, Justice Hill had a great game. Derrick Henry had a great game. Rashad Bateman had a great game for his standards, for his expectations. I want to shout out Rashad Bateman because not a lot of people thought he was going to be an X factor in this game. He was. He was the standout receiver in this game for the right reasons. Isaiah Likely, shout out to you. You had an amazing game as well. Now, the bad, the negative. Why I think the Ravens lost last night, I think it's very simple. The Buffalo Bills took advantage of our turnovers. Our 3 turnovers to their 0. We were not given the chance to capitalize on any Buffalo Bills mistakes because the Buffalo Bills played a near perfect game last night. The Ravens played the exact opposite. A lot of crucial mistakes that costed great starting drives and eventually cost us the game. Now, Lamar Jackson, to Lamar's standards, that was a C+ game. And you can see it right here. This fumble should have never happened. Bad snap by Linderbaum. Just go down. You don't have to be Superman. You don't have to make that play. Just go down. The interception was a miscommunication with Bateman. You could tell Bateman thought he was going the right way, but Lamar thought it was a go route. I think it was a go route, but they got to him. Mark Andrews. Let's talk about Mark Andrews for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Andrews in this game was the main reason why the Ravens lost. And Mark Andrews, for all he's done for the Ravens, I'm not going to heavily slander him. I'm not going to say he's a bum. I'm not going to say he's a bad person because he's not. But he cost the Ravens last night. And I think he knows it. And deep down inside, I think a lot of people are going to point towards him for this game. The fumble that he caused in the fourth quarter was bad. The drop on the 2-point conversion was really bad. The Ravens had multiple opportunities with the final minutes of the game ticking down, and really throughout the game, to put points on the board. The Ravens had a very good chance to put 40 points on this Buffalo Bills team. Now, would it have happened? Probably not. But the opportunities and drives that they were having, they were marching down the field. And they were doing it at a very rapid pace. The Ravens cost themselves. And Myles Garrett, one of the Ravens' division rivals, said it best. When the Ravens lose games, it's 99.9% of the time because they shot themselves in the foot. And that is exactly what happened in this game. You drew more penalties. You gave up more turnovers. You didn't create any turnovers. And the Bills capitalized on every mistake that you guys made. The Bills, like I said, played a near perfect game last night, and the Ravens, they did not. And that is the deciding factor in a lot of the Ravens' playoff losses in the Lamar era. Last year, the Zay fumble, the Lamar throw in triple covers that was an interception. The Titans game, 8 drops from wide receivers, Lamar, multiple turnovers. It's starting to become a pattern with not only just Lamar, but the Ravens team as a whole. And I'm not putting this on Lamar. I'm not putting his losses on Lamar because, again, Lamar had a great game last night. But this is starting to become a pattern in more recent time, at least since the Super Bowl that we won in 2013, that Ravens losses in the playoffs are just self-inflicted gunshots. And they can't stop it. They haven't been able to stop it. When they play better competition or competition that is on the same tier as them, they lose. But if they play a team like the Titans, the Texans, or the Steelers, they can easily beat them. But a team like the Bills, the Chiefs, they can't get past the hump. And that's starting to be noticeable. And fans are starting to realize this. Every year, the same thing happens. So when will that change happen? When will change come in Baltimore in January? Me personally, I don't care what the Ravens do in the regular season next year. My expectations are do whatever between September and early January. And once that first week of January is done, win. And it is very simple for me now. As someone who has watched this team last year be one of the best defenses in the league, now watching this team switch their focus to offense, having one of the best rushing attacks in NFL history with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Justice Hill. What plan do you go towards next year? Because you've went the heavy defense. You've went the best defense route. You failed. You went with the best offense in Lamar's era, and you failed. What is the goal next year? What is the plan? What will EDC do to build this team next year? How will he build this team next year? I'm interested to see, because you have draft picks. You have somewhat spending money. But I want to see what they do. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for tuning into this video. As always, hit the like button, subscribe. Again, comment down below your thoughts on this Ravens season. Was it a failure to you? Was it a success? Or how are you just feeling in general? Now, this is the end of the Ravens season. I don't think there will be much Ravens content to produce. So going forward on this channel, if you are a fan of Baltimore sports, you will see Orioles content on this channel going forward. And that will be starting very shortly, as the Orioles will be reporting to spring training in February. So you will see content from this channel about the Orioles, and when the Ravens start back up, we will be posting videos again. But for now, you will see Orioles content in the brief future. So, Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for tuning into this video, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.